Oh, here we go. Let me know if you can hear me, guys. That should work. So, I will just tell you guys that I think that this is going to be the last video that I'm going to make on this particular topic, because I have to say that I am positively exhausted from it. A friend of mine told me a few weeks ago, "Hey Tzvi, you have this platform. How come you don't talk about the you-know-what?" And I said, well, I don't want to get deplatformed and whatever, make antagonism and stuff like that. And I realized that, while a lot of people have responded positively, there's been a lot of just a lot of negativity on social media and other places. You really see people's masks coming off, true colors, as it were. So barring anything monumental, I think this is going to be the last video for this topic, not other topics. With that said, guys, seeing as how it will be the last video, I guess it'll be a bit of a doozy. At least I hope it will be. So, you guys probably know, those of you guys that don't know, there's a very famous idea in Judaism that talks about this group of people called Amalek. Amalek are the eternal and the most kind of irrational enemy of the Jewish people. They are a group that the Jewish people encountered in the desert when they left Egypt, and they're a group actually that multiple times in the Torah we're either reminded of them to remember them, or to remember what they did to us. Also, we're basically instructed to eliminate them, to kill them, physically kill them. And one kind of striking feature of Amalek is that what they do is, the way that they attack is they attack the weak. They attack the weakest points of the Jewish people. By extension, the world, but the Jewish people in particular. You're talking about the vulnerable, the elderly, the children. That time it was the women. Not to get make anybody feel like there's some misogyny going on here, but and it's actually a very famous idea that is actually, perpetuated, let's say, around the time of Purim. First of all, that we understand that the progenitor, or rather I think it's the progenitor of Amalek, is a person by the name of Haman, right? He was the evil, vizier of Persia, who tried to basically eliminate all the Jewish people around the world. And you should know that there's a very famous idea in Purim that Amalek has the same numerical value. The word Amalek has the same numerical value, same gematria, 240, as the word Sofek. The word Sofek means doubt. So the whole idea of Purim, right? So we have, this whole situation where we think everything's going to go down the tubes, we think we're going to be destroyed, and we have doubt, right? And the simcha, the happiness, the joy comes when our doubt is allayed, when our doubt is eliminated, when we have just peace of mind. No more doubt. We have yeshuva dat, what's called. And so it's interesting, guys, if you look at today, you look around the world, you talk to people, and even people who took the you-know-what, there's a lot of doubts, there's a lot of sofek going on, Should I take it, should I not take it? What should I do? Where should I go? what's better, getting the thing or taking the thing for the thing, but might have this side effects, whatever it is. There's a lot of sofek, my friends. The world, not just the Jewish people, but the world is engulfed by sofek, and it has come from, we see that a lot of evil people are perpetuating this, and you see that they are targeting the most vulnerable. You're talking about the elderly, you're talking about, now they're going on to kids, pregnant women, and you see what's going on. Anytime people try to, present a different narrative than what they've been presenting, they call it into question, and there's a sofek, there's a doubt. People are like, well, is this the truth? What's the truth? We don't know, right? I'll tell you guys something, in the story of Purim, at the end, we know that Haman, who was the representative of Amalek, he is hanged. The gallows, the very gallows he prepared for the Jews, right? But it's interesting, what's mentioned not only in Megillat Esther, in the book of Esther, not only that he hangs, but his 10 sons hang. So right now what I want to do with you guys, I want to read to you guys something that was actually written by a Kabbalist from Iraq, a Mekubal. His name is Rabbi Sasson ben Mordechai Shanduch. He lived in the late 1700s, 1747 to 1830. And he wrote a book called Davar Be'ito. And in that book, he talks about the Hebrew roots that indicate the specific characteristics to the 10 sons of Haman. And my friends, I read this stuff, and, let's read it together, and we'll see how these things play out and what we're seeing before us. All right? So, just go name by name, and they mention here the characteristics, and we can literally see what's playing out before us. All right? So the first one, Parshandata, is one who mafrish a person from the religion, pushes away a person from religion. So you guys could see like what they did in Israel, for example, right? They closed all the synagogues during the holidays. They closed all, they were targeting the religious sector, right? I remember last year I was here, and I was in Jerusalem, and they had a lockdown. The cops were, making sure people were masks outside. They were fining people, all this kind of stuff, making sure people didn't go within like certain meters of their house. This is kind of what they're doing in Australia now, right? Guys, I remember going to Tel Aviv, back when you could actually travel. Everybody was in bars, nobody had a mask, the cops didn't care. The secular Tel Aviv, my friends. And you could see the same thing happening in the States, or in Europe as well. Churches were also closed. I remember in New York there was a whole story, churches, synagogues. So basically you're pushing people away from God, because if people don't have God, now they're relying on the government. The government wants, guys, I come from the Soviet Union. The government wants people, a tyrannical government. They never want people to rely on Hashem. They don't even want people to know that there is a Hashem that can be relied on, right? They don't want even people to fear Hashem. They want people to fear them. You're talking about Stalin, Lenin, whomever, Kim Jong-il, Kim Jong-un, Kim Il-sung, Pol Pot. My friends, all these regimes, all these style regimes, Nazis as well, my friends. There's no Hashem. There is no Hashem. There's only the government. They are the G-O-D, God with a small g. That's basically what it is, guys. That's basically what it is. And it's interesting, guys. I'll tell you in short, you notice what's happening right now and I was mentioning this to my friends, everything that happened in Israel, even with all the draconian lockdowns last year, they were there was an element of, kind of rachamim and hesed, mercy. They let things slide, even though they had like the fines and the lockdowns, whatever it is. But guys, you see what's going on in all these other countries, these Western countries, right? America, the UK, Australia. It's not the same thing. It's very, very draconian. It's interesting. I notice in America, it's a little, depending on where you go especially, it's a little bit more, with rachamim, because again, America is a country where most of the people believe in Hashem. Most of the people are God-fearing people. You go to Europe, they've basically dropped everything. Australia, I don't know what the story is. I would imagine it's the same as Europe. Again, when you don't have Hashem, you have the government. That's basically it. Number 2, dalfon is a person who is a delet, like a door to bad directions or steps. My friends, we're taking this supposed cure, treatment. Took 2 doses, now we're going on a 3rd. And they're telling us that it's less effective the more you take it. So what are we going to do? We're going to do the same thing, expecting a different results. My friends, a grand rabbi, the Gera Rebbe, just took the 3rd dose of this thing, and he got COVID. He's older, he's 82 years old, and he got COVID. There has been people who took the 3rd thing, the 3rd dose, and got the disease. My friends, we cannot keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result. But my friends, this is one of the sons of Haman, of Amalek, Dalphon. He's a door into these steps, right? Instead of taking treatments that have been suppressed by the media, we're going to do this one thing, and that's the only thing, and there's no other solution. I was told on Twitter by this one guy in Canada, this blogger, there's no other solution. I don't know what I'm talking about. No other solution. Nothing except this. Jab, 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 jab. Nothing. There's nothing. Goodbye. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Number 3, asafta. Asafta, like a sifa, the word of sifa, is a gatherer. So, you're keeping people from traveling. They're all in one place, whether it's Israel, America, people who are not citizens can't come to Israel. Unless they have like a first-degree relative, even now they can't. Those people can't come to Israel. Other countries, yeah, it's everybody's in one place, right? Traveling is hard. Number 4, porata alludes to the untoward and unchaste behavior, like not tzniut, no modesty, right? It's interesting. Bennett, when he first became prime minister, it was a few weeks ago or a month and a half ago. One of the first things he did, he went to these social media influencers, these like people who are like flashing their you-know-what all over Instagram, who everybody's looking at, who's got, they all have like 1 million followers or how many million followers. And he's like, guys, you are the people, the influencers of Israel, for the young people, and Hashem is going to give you such a reward. And he literally said this, my friends. He literally said this. This supposedly religious guy whose kippah is like, not that I'm judging anybody from the size of the kippah, but okay. He's like, Hashem is going to reward you in Shamayim. Like these people care about any Shamayim and any Torah and any this and any that. Okay, they paid them money, these influencers, fat cash, and they influenced. Okay. With this supposed cure. And this was done, my friends, this was done all over the place, in America as well, with these celebrities who are half naked. Come on, just take it, it's so cool. We'll give you French fries, we'll give you hamburgers. Come on, just do it. Come on, do it, yeah, it's so cool. Everybody's cool is doing it. If you're not doing it, you're not cool, yay. Friends, sound familiar? Number 5, adalia, refers to one who lifts himself up with arrogance and haughtiness. My friends, you try to present a different opinion on this issue, especially medically speaking. You try to present facts and figures and information where you actually researched it, as opposed to just, eating up the narrative that you're being spoon-fed like a brainless drone. All of a sudden, people, oh, what do you know? You have a PhD? Did you go to medical school? Who are you? You don't know anything. Shut up. I'm a doctor. I'm a this. I'm a that. Just take the thing and shut up. You're the reason that there's a problem. Blah, 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 blah. haughtiness and arrogance, my friends. It's called, actually, the word for it is demagoguery, demagogues, okay? Number 6, aridata is one who scares others like a lion. My friends, intimidating people to take something they don't want to take. First you try to coerce them, first you're trying to like suggest, then you're trying to coerce. At some point they're just going to force. Intimidate, force. Okay, I love people that say, oh, nobody's forcing anybody to do anything. My friends, they're all but forcing them. Okay? If you're telling people, I'm going to fire you if you don't take this, I don't know what that is. My friends, again, I was born in the Soviet Union. This is exactly what they did to people. People who said that they wanted to leave the Soviet Union, or were against the government, or were against this, or against that. They either fired them for their job, or they branded them a crazy person and put them in what's called psichushka, in a mental hospital, in a psychiatric ward. Okay? Number 7. Parmashta is one who rips apart porem, the inner fabric, the chassis, the crisscross, like shotness of the Jewish nation. Yeah, my friends, people are being divided into two distinct camps. The people who are in power are basically dividing and conquering. They're saying you're either in this camp of the pro or in this camp of the anti. There's no nuance, there's no subtlety, there's no discussion, there's no debate, there's no getting to the truth, there's no reporting, even though the people who reported, you know, who tried to say last year X, Y, and Z were called conspiracy theorists, and now it's proven to be correct, and then we're saying it again, and then it's again proven to be correct, and we're just rinsing and repeating and rinsing and repeating. We're still in here's this camp, and here's this camp, and there's nothing. My friends, I personally do know people who have taken the thing, have remorse about it. You know, they told me I never would have taken it if it wasn't for my roommate, my girlfriend, my husband, my grandpa, my this, my that, whatever. A person I saw who had COVID, who had a tough time. But ultimately, guys, most people, especially I'll notice in America, guys, it's funny, like they've literally politicized this. They made this a right-wing, left-wing issue, pro this former president versus pro this guy. And it's funny because in Israel, it's the exact diametrical opposite, guys. Most of the people protesting anti in Israel are lefties. So I don't know, maybe a friend of mine joked he called me a lefty. I'm not. Most of the right-wing people, right-wing here in Israel, my friends, like this Haredi kid told me, Kikar Tzion, the guy, my country says to do it, I trust my country, I do it. I'm Haredi. The kid literally told me, he said, I'm Haredi, the government hates me, but I trust my government. My friends, I literally, granted this kid was like 19 years old, poor, you know, gullible kid, but I just, my jaw dropped. I didn't even know what to say after that. We were debating back and forth, and afterwards I was just like, I was stunned. I told him, hey man, what if I tried to make an analogy between, with the company that's selling this product. I said, what if you go to a car dealership and the guy tells you, okay, here's a car, I'm going to sell you a car, but if anything happens to the car, if your car breaks down, you can't come back to me and return it, or, I'm not liable and there's no refunds. What would you do? Would you still buy the car? He's like, well, if I'm in the desert and it's life or death and I'm in the desert and I need a car, sure. I'm like, yeah, but you're in the desert now, and if the car breaks down, you're screwed. The engine falls out, and what are you going to do? Now you're just in the desert and you're going to die in the desert. Congratulations. It was just, amazing. Anyway, number 8, Arisai is one who possesses the venom of a snake. My friends, not giving people the correct treatment. A lot of people saying, oh, you probably don't think that this is a real disease. No, my friends, we're taking this very, very seriously, even though it has a 99.9% survival rate. Okay? But there are treatments which were suppressed. Why? Because the person offering the treatment is a friend of a bad orange man. My friends, they have politicized medicine. Last year, the same people, they were talking about this supposed cure that they're touting now. When that bad orange man was the one saying, we're going to do the fast track, they were saying, oh, I'm not going to take this thing. This is going to take a year and a half to clear with the proper authorities. And then they came into power, my friends, and now they are, that song, push it real. Now they're pushing it. They're just pushing it, and they have muzzled and silenced and ostracized and basically canceled physically anybody offering other solutions. They are pushing poison on people. Number 9, aridai is one who subjugates people with suffering and worries about their livelihood. My friends, the lockdowns, people don't know about their parnasa, people with small businesses, restaurants, what have you, okay? And now we move on to, if you don't take this thing, you're going to lose your job. My friends, I mean, this is it. This is basically it. And now these people, again, we go back to the nanny state. No Hashem, no job. What do you rely on? The government. Right? You're going to be on the government. And my friends, we're printing cash like it's going out of style. Right? We're going to keep printing and printing and printing. And my friends, you know, a lot of people have a theory that this is all part of a bigger thing to, you know, revamp the whole financial system. But that's a whole other, maybe I'll talk about that next time. We'll see. We'll see how I got to put something together here. Very complicated. And number 10, Vaizata is one who symbolizes the bitter and warped judgment of an olive. My friends, we just have to understand that this is all from Hashem. There has been a decree from Hashem. There was a decree from Hashem. There's a very bitter judgment on the world, Jewish people, by extension the world. And just as in the story of Purim, how did they solve, so to speak, solve it? At the end of the day, I mean, there was a lot of wrangling, a lot of horse trading by Esther, but at the end of the day, Esther instructed all the people to fall on their face, daven to Hashem, cry to Hashem, and fast, and do tshuva. And that was the way that we avoided and we averted all of this calamity and bitter judgment, really. And my friends, you know, it's interesting. We're coming up right now, first of all, in a Shemitah year. And Shemitah year is a whole other topic. And, you know, the word Purim, or the holiday of Purim, is actually related to the holiday of Yom Kippur, or Yom HaKippurim, a day like Purim. They say that Yom Kippur is the happiest day on the Jewish calendar. Not Purim, but Yom Kippur, because that's when everything is wiped clean, that's when we're atoned. So my friends, it might just be the solution to all of this, and I'm speaking to the Jews, in particular my fellow, so to speak, frum Jews, for those of you at least who are tapped in, it might be incumbent upon us this Rosh Hashanah, when we are in judgment, and the whole world's really in judgment, and believe you me guys, these evil people that I just described, they're gonna get theirs, okay? They're gonna get theirs in a couple of weeks, actually in a week from today. Wow, creeping up on you. And my friends, Yom Kippur, after Yom Kippur, and then, you know, there's gonna be that kind of couple of days between Yom Kippur and Sukkot, and my friends, on Sukkot, we're going to see how everything in this world is temporary, including the things that you see in front of you. B'ezrat Hashem. However, it is actually up to us to daven and to do tshuva. And I'm speaking to myself as well. I've been lax in that department, full admission here, okay? And it's really up to us and up to the Jewish people, really. Because again, guys, as goes Israel and the Jewish people, so goes the world. You know, again, you guys see what we did last year with, you know, the lockdowns and all these draconian things and this and that and the other. But here in Israel, you have, you know, my friend just said, you have hashgacha pratis, you have God's hand, you know, personal judgment, personal supervision. You have rachamim, you have hesed, you have an element of that. Everything is tempered, right? But if you go to, like, you know, just leave Israel, go to a Western country, you guys see everything's with just a heavy hand. There is no hesed, right? There's only gevura and din, judgment, and just heavy-handedness. You know, like again, guys, I was watching videos from Australia on a different platform, not on YouTube, right? Because those videos are banned on YouTube, and like, just the cops are walking around, and like, it's crazy. It's like Inglourious Bastards. It's like that guy Landa, you know, comes to your house and he's just sitting there and he's, you know, making notes, and next thing you know what I'm saying? For those of you guys getting offended, I'm telling you what I see with my own eyes. By the way, guys, that's another thing. They've been telling us that what we see with our own eyes is not reality, right? They literally write this, fact check. No, what you see is not. My friends, again, I was born in the former Soviet Union. My parents were refuseniks. I'm wearing these glasses, these from I spoke about the movie They Live. My friends, these are my anti-BS glasses, okay? You can't pull a fast one on me. We see it from a mile away, my friends. We see it from a mile away. But at the end of the day, my friends, it's going to be up to us. On these holidays, Rosh Hashanah, the 10 days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and especially on Yom Kippur, we have to daven to Hashem, cry out to Hashem. The world is being judged. We have to daven for the Rishonim, for the evil ones to be judged, and for everything, for the health and prosperity, and for really, so that we get rid of the sofek, because in order to get rid of sofek, what do you need? You need truth. You need clarity. We need clarity and truth. We need the truth to start coming out. It's already been slowly coming out, slowly but surely, but it's been creeping out. But my friends, we need the truth to come out. We need to have debate. That's the only way we're going to get to the truth. We need to have honest discussions and nuance. We can't be separated in two camps. We cannot, because that's how they get us, my friends. And ultimately, guys, we have to remember, we pay these people salaries. When they realize that, when we realize that and make them realize that, that's when the whole game is going to change, guys. It's going to be peaceful disobedience. Not guns, not any violence. Just say, millions of people just stand up and say, you know what? We're not taking this crap anymore. We know what you're doing. This is BS. Okay? And we're done with it. That's it, my friend. That's basically it. But we have to daven. And hopefully, Yom Kippur, Yom HaKippurim, we will see the downfall of Amalek. We'll get the clarity, eliminate the sofek. And on Sukkot, we will see how everything is just temporary.